Welcome to the Livfiit Listens podcast, a safe space of growth, personal development, and overall wellness with your host, Olivia Catania. Diving into the realms of all things health, conscious living, mental expansion, and much more, this podcast is designed to help you evolve into your best self and live fit. Let's get into the show. Hello, you guys. Welcome back to another episode 73 of the Livfiit Listens podcast. I love this because right now it's exactly 4:44 as we're starting this epi. I really don't know the last time that I've recorded an episode this late in the day, but I really just want to get this ready and out for you guys just because I'm feeling it today, and so I want to record it on the day that I'm really feeling juiced about it and passionate about the topic. But before we get too far into that, I'm feeling so grateful today that my sister is here. One of my older sisters, Sophia, has moved here from North Carolina, and so tonight we're gonna go get ice cream and stuff. And it's just like, I love siblings because they really are like built-in friends. And don't get me wrong, we have our differences, like we don't all get along, especially not all the time, but I still do feel like they're a built-in friend, and I am pretty close with my sister Sophia, and it's just as nice to have like another friend here now, even though she is my sister. But I'm just thankful to have her here for us to be able to do like little excursions like that now, because I haven't lived near her like literally, actually, now that I think about it, until before I went to college, because then she's 4 years older than me, so she went to college, you know, when I was in high school, and then she went along to be a vet. So she was in vet school, and then I was in college, and then she moved to, So that's actually crazy. I just realized that. I don't think I've lived in the same place as her literally since high school, which is nuts. And that's literally the harsh truth of growing up, which is honestly so sad. So if you're younger and you're like 18 or so, I couldn't imagine someone younger than that like listening to me in this podcast. If you are, so proud of you. You're so ahead of your time. You're so wise, and you're really surrounding yourself with great knowledge. Love that for you. But if you are still like around your siblings, or I guess even if you're a little older, cherish the times that you have still living with your siblings, because it's not going to be that way forever, and you kind of are going to miss it when you get older, whether you think or not. So I'm just going to get into this episode because I thought, let me backtrack for a second. A couple days ago, I was doing my meditation thing, and I fairly often will go through and like run through chakra openings when I'm meditating. And I went through that more heavily in previous times, but lately I've been like getting back on that train where I like will run through my chakras in meditation. And then I had some affirmations come through to me. We're going to get into all of this, so it's going to make sense, to help with that chakra opening when I was meditating. And I shared those affirmations on my Instagram. And I said in the corner, because then I was thinking about it, I was like, dude, have I actually not done a podcast episode on chakras? Like, how have I not done that? Because to me, it's like such a foundational just part of energetic hygiene to me. So I was like, wait, have I really actually not done an episode on chakras? So in that Instagram story, I mentioned, hey, thinking of maybe doing an episode on this. LMK, let a sister know. And so many of you were actually so down for it. So I was like, say less, gals. I'll chalk that up right now and get recording, which I thought that this was going to be like a super easy, like, oh, boom, it won't take me long. Like, this is just definitely, common information that needs to be pushed out to the masses. I'll 100% record that. I thought this was maybe going to be like a 20-minute episode max. And then when I actually sat down to outline this, I was like, holy shit, there's actually so much that goes into this. And this really is so much more of a complex topic when you actually go to actually explain it. So we have a lot to unpack here, but I'm really going to try to explain this to the best of my ability, and I'm really going to try to put it in its most digestible form for you guys to understand, because I feel like chakras are definitely kind of a buzzword, I want to say. Well, if I was new to the spiritual community, I could definitely see how some of you guys would be like, I'm hearing that word a lot, but I have no idea what it means. But it's another one of those quote unquote like spiritual words that I've been hearing, but like I have no clue like what it actually means because no one ever explains it. So I get it. So we're going to dive deep today. Chakras 101, the true pillars of true alignment. We're going to get into what they mean. Literally, I'm going to run through every single chakra. I'm also going to explain why they are important to give you guys context of kind of how they actually impact your life. And then at the end, I'm going to share with you guys practices that you could do to help you to actually connect with each chakra and actually be able to use each chakra to your advantage and keep each chakra open. And I'm also going to be sharing with you guys some corresponding affirmations to help with opening each chakra. Okay. If that still doesn't make sense, hang tight because we're about to get into it. So starting super foundationally, we are all made up of energy, right? That's science. You guys always hear me talking about that. Every single thing on this planet is energy. It's made up of energy, including us. We are energetic beings. So what the chakras are they are energy centers that are throughout the body that have the ability to either be opened or closed. Okay, kind of like a portal situation, or however you want to visualize it, a little cap on a hole, right? So there's 7 energy centers. Okay, there's 7 chakras, which we're going to get into from the top of your head all the way down to the base of your spine, which we will also continue to get into. And each chakra has a specific correspondence and theme to each one of them. Okay, so there's something when a chakra is open, it correlates to specific feelings, experiences, a specific energy that you can tap into when each one of those chakras are open. And with that, each chakra has a correlating color. Okay, and what's beautiful about it is that it actually ends up making up the rainbow, which I love this because I'm like, everything is freaking connected and it's so beautiful and I love it. And that's why I love this work and I love spirituality and I'm just freaking obsessed with it. So before I dive into actually what each chakra is and before I spit out all that information to you guys, I want to kind of put a pin in that and pivot and shift to why they are important to be able to give you guys some sort of context and perspective on just like what they kind of are in the first place, like just a greater picture of them to give you more context going forward so it actually kind of makes more sense when we actually run through each chakra. So chakras are important because they affect your ability to be able to express and experience each of these areas of life that each chakra corresponds to. Right? So circling back to what I said, each chakra can either be opened or closed. And I want you to picture it as like literally like a portal or a hole or a door. You want your chakras to be open. That's what's going to allow for free flowing energy to be able to pass through, for energy to be able to come in and energy to exit. So if you have closed chakras, you can kind of picture that as like closed doors on that specific energy, and it's kind of going to cause speed bumps and resistance, and it's just going to close you off to certain areas of life. And furthermore, with that, if your chakras are just out of alignment, right, if some are open, some are closed, or all out of whack, you will also feel energetically out of whack, which your life is going to reflect, right? Because everything is a mirror. So that's why it's so important to have, that's why I like to say good energetic hygiene, and that goes back to taking care of your chakras and making sure they're all in alignment and making sure they're all open, that you're tapped into them, that they're connected, because that's truly when you're going to feel your best. And you guys, I cannot make this up. Like circling back to kind of what I said, when I was like super on my shit of like really every single meditation, like checking in with my chakras, making sure each one was open, I always felt my best. Like I just felt so balanced. I felt so centered, you know, and grounded within myself. And I felt like I just was way more magnetic in my day-to-day because I just was more collected and composed and in my energy. So you kind of want to picture it like if your chakras are all out of whack or some are open and some are closed, you're going to be blocked off to certain energies and certain things that you would want to experience. And it's also going to impact your ability to like seamlessly operate through life. And also this reminds me before I lose myself here, there's this book called Abundance, The Inner Path to Wealth by Deepak Chopra. I think is how I'm saying his name correctly. But he is another pretty spiritual, I feel like he has a good amount of spiritual books out there. And in this book specifically, he spoke about how the key to wealth, quote unquote, and abundance is taking the inner path. And a huge thing that he says in order to have kind of an aligned inner path is to really connect to your chakras and make sure that all of your chakras are open. And that is the key to wealth, which I felt like was the perfect, it just speaks perfectly on behalf of what I'm trying to say of if you really want to be able to live your best life, if you want to feel your best, if you want to be magnetic to all your desires, if you want to be receptive and susceptible to all the beautiful blessings that are in life, you want to make sure that your chakras are all open, all 7 of them. That's when you're going to be able to experience the utmost potency and saturation of life. And that's when you're going to be able to experience really the depths of all that life has to offer. So I can't stress this enough. It's really important to make sure that you're being very conscious and mindful and aware of your chakras, caring for them, paying attention to them, because in doing so, that's how you're actually going to be able to live your best life and really be a magnet to all the beautiful blessings that are in life. So furthermore, to kind of bring this full circle, I want you guys to picture a flute, because this is kind of how I picture my chakras in meditation when I'm focusing on opening all of them. So, you know, a flute, you have your first hole at the top where you're blowing into it and then the air comes out on the back of it. Maybe a flute or a clarinet. I'm picturing like a very generic, like back to Native American instruments where it's literally just like a wooden cylinder, one hole's open, there's another hole at the bottom of it, and then there's holes coming out through the top of it. That is literally like a perfect example of how these chakras are in alignment. So if one or more of those holes in the flute are clogged, it's obviously not going to sound too good. It's not going to operate well, right? It's not going to be functioning to its fullest capacity. It's not fulfilling its potential. That's the same thing that happens with these chakras when one of these quote unquote holes for visionary purposes are blocked. You will experience the impacts of that and the effects of that in one sense or another. Just like a flute, if one of the holes are blocked or clogged, it's not going to operate to the best of its ability. So you want all of these holes to be open and be able to have energy flowing freely throughout all of them. And each chakra, which I'm hoping you guys are understanding where I'm getting at, each chakra has these corresponding energies with it. So if you want to be able to feel just the abundance that each chakra has in terms of its feelings and emotions and energies that you can tap into when you're connected to each one of these chakras, like that's when you're truly also going to be able to feel your best, because you're going to be able to actually experience all of these electric, vibrant, magnetic energies that are actually available to us. So I'm going to elaborate deeper into this on how we actually are affected by our chakras as we get deeper into this work and as we keep progressing through this episode. I hope everyone's with me right now. I kind of feel the need to do I feel like I'm literally teaching a seminar. I'm like, any questions? Does anyone have any questions? Actually, that kind of reminds me, there's the little Q&A section on Spotify. I can see those when you guys answer, and I love when I have people send in little responses or something. And it just makes my whole day. I'm like, ooh, because I never can actually interact with you guys. I feel like on YouTube, I get comments, people are liking the video, whatever. Instagram, I get DMs, people are liking, commenting on my posts, replying to my stories. But I can't do that really here on the podcast. So if you've been thinking about messaging me on there and you're like, she probably won't see it, please do the little Q&A poll section thing. I don't even know how to describe it. I think if you scroll down, it'll be there. But I love when I get a little message from you guys on there. Anyway, okay. With that being said, let's dive into the chakras. Okay. So like I said, there's 7 of them, and we're going to start with chakra numero uno, number 1, which is called the root chakra. Okay. This is located at the bottom of your trunk or your spine. So I want you to think of your whole entire torso, your whole core, your trunk. I literally, TMI, not TMI. I picture it literally where my lady part is in my crotch, essentially. But it's at the base of your trunk or your spine, however you want to visualize it. It's in that vicinity. Okay. So the corresponding color, right? Because like I said, each chakra has a corresponding color to represent and embody the energy of each chakra, right? So the color of the root chakra is red. Okay, so we're starting with the top of the rainbow here. So this root chakra is associated with energies of stability, safety, protection, groundedness, feeling centered, okay, security. So basically, if your root chakra is open, that's going to be a time where you're going to be able to feel all of those energies that I just listed are going to be very available to you. You're going to be feeling welled up, engulfed, immersed, filled up. I don't know how to say it. With all of those energies and emotions, you're going to feel like you are super grounded. You're going to feel very stable. You're going to feel just this essence of safety and protection and security as you go about your day. You're not going to be having all these worries and anxieties and feeling like you have no stability in your life, right? So when your root chakra is open, that's when these energies are going to be available to you. So now kind of stepping into what I said of how I'm going to elaborate and how we're affected by these chakras, this is kind of a perfect example of how if a certain chakra is closed, its corresponding category is going to be impacted in your life. So for example, if you are wanting to manifest money, right? Which is going to very much correlate to stability, protection, feeling secure, feeling like you have safety, right? You have money if you're in a time of need, if you, to get food on the table, to have a home, all of that sort of stuff, it goes back to our root chakra, right? That feeling of stability. So if you're someone who's wanting to manifest money and you feel like you're constantly struggling with money, you constantly feel like you're dealing with being poor, you're constantly feeling like you're in this lack mindset, but you grew up in a childhood where there was always kind of this lack of stability or security in your life, your root chakra may be closed as a result of that trauma or those experiences, right? So now I'm hoping this is kind of getting pieced together of how not only are your chakras impacted, but then how your chakras impact your life going forward, right? So if you experience certain trauma, your chakras are going to be impacted by the correlating trauma, essentially, right? So if you felt like you never had a stable home life, if you felt like you were moving from home to home as you grew up, if you felt like there was always kind of yelling in your house, or your home just didn't feel safe, right? If you felt like you always struggled with security, you didn't know if your parents were going to pick you up on time, who was picking you up, if you're going to have a ride from school, like even these things that seem so little, those could be things that have kind of placed scars on your chakras, and in this specific scenario, on your root chakra, right? So if you're someone who's looking to kind of break that generational trauma, if you're someone who's looking to have a stable home life, who's wanting to manifest more money, this is a perfect example of where you would want to pour more energy and intention into connecting with your root chakra and opening your opening your root chakra and healing your root chakra to tap into all those beautiful energies that I listed before, so you can actually feel secure, so you can feel safe, so you can feel provided for, and so you could feel stability. So healing your root chakra is going to allow you to become more magnetic to those energies of stability and security, which again, in this example, is going to be money, right? So if you're wanting to get closer to feeling like you have a safe home life, right, connect to your root chakra. So I hope now, I want you guys to reflect now. I'm hoping you'll be able to resonate with certain quote unquote struggles that you're having in your life. As we get further down these chakras, you'll be able to correlate them with the specific chakra that you can work on. But if you just really resonated with everything that I just said, a great starting point area for you would be to really be mindful and to pay attention to your root chakra, to heal those things, to really open your root chakra, so then you can actually be very susceptible and receptive to finding that stability and protection and security and groundedness and feeling centered in your own life. So I wanted to also share the affirmations that came through during meditation the other day that I shared in my Instagram story, so for you guys in order to help you kind of tap in and to connect and open each chakra. For the root chakra, I am rooted in the oneness of all things. I am rooted in the oneness of all things. You're going to be getting a lot of affirmations today now that I think about it, okay? So that affirmation, basically it came with that because it's speaking on behalf of you feeling grounded, right? And you feeling centered and safe in the concept that all things are one, right? You're finding a sense of home in the fact that there's oneness in all things. So by you, we're also going to get into this at the end of the episode, but by you using this mantra, continuing to affirm this to yourself, saying this affirmation to yourself in the mirror, writing it down, putting it on your mirror so you can see it every day, that is what's going to help you. By you seeing that and running through that affirmation daily, that's what's going to help you to slowly open up that root chakra and to connect and tap into your root chakra. Okay, chakra number 2. We're really diving deep into all this. Okay, I'm really excited. I love this. Okay, chakra number 2. This is called the Sacral Chakra. Now, this is located kind of in your low back. Again, it's kind of depending on like which way you're looking at your trunk, but like low back / uterus. Okay, I'm going to call it what it is. That's kind of where I also visualize it. Also, disclaimer, I'm no absolute expert, of course. So this is based on my own research, what I've learned, and also kind of what I've experienced through my own meditations and my own inner healing journey. So just wanted to tap that in there because, of course, I never want to come across it like I know everything. So anyways, the corresponding color to this chakra is orange. And the sacral chakra is associated with all things like sensuality, sexuality, your feminine and your masculine energy, kind of fiery desires and just fiery energy. And it's you kind of being able to tap into your power. Okay, this one's kind of similar to the next chakra a little bit. I'll kind of be able to explain the overlaps as we get there. But this chakra is really great, especially if you're someone who's struggling to connect to your feminine energy or your masculine energy, whichever one you feel like you identify more with. A reminder, everyone, regardless of your sex, we have both feminine and masculine energy within us. We were created by a mother and a father. We have both within us. However, each of us have a higher potency of kind of a base energy. I'm more so in a feminine energy is kind of my more so base, but I also have masculine energy within me. So I'm really big on, working on healing feminine energy and tapping into your feminine energy when you can. So if you're someone who feels like you're struggling to connect to your feminine energy, this is a beautiful chakra to be having your attention and awareness and pouring your energy into, because when your sacral chakra is open, that's going to allow you to tap into your feminine energy even more and even deeper. With that, when I was struggling to get my period back, and same thing, ladies, if you're someone who's struggling with PMS symptoms, or really like hormonal imbalances or anything like that, please, like, this is where I feel like I lose some people, but this is things that I believe in so much, because I do feel like there's an unexplainable gap between Western medicine and ancient medicine and kind of just like energetics. I do believe that the mind can heal the body, like, through and through. It was a huge driving factor for me when it came to getting my period back so quickly and healing from HA. And that part of that was me really doing deep healing meditations, and I didn't even know it at the time, but I was really placing so much energy and intention in my sacral chakra. And so same thing here. If you're someone who feels like you're struggling with really bad PMS cramps or hormone imbalances, really focus on opening up your sacral chakra, of connecting to your sacral chakra, sending love to your sacral chakra, allowing your sacral chakra to feel safe and secure, to be relaxed and to be in a flow. I promise you, like, if you really send that good energy, I promise it's going to help you open up your sacral chakra and mitigate those symptoms. I'm like loving that, because I'm telling you, that was such a huge portion of my healing journey when it came to really helping to balance out my hormones completely naturally without any hormone replacement therapy or literally anything. Like, I only use natural remedies, and that was a big thing for me, and it helped me so much with healing my hormones and allowing my hormones to become more in a balance. So a huge thing. I really urge you to do that. Also, if you're someone who's looking to step more like into your power and just be more sure in who you are, not necessarily in kind of like a overly confident way even, I picture it more so in a sense, like, that's why I said be sure in who you are. It's like this inner knowingness that you are enough, like not needing to prove it or boast it or like express it. It's like just kind of this inner knowing of feeling like I'm so grounded in my power and who I am. If you're wanting to work on that, again, open up your sacral chakra. If you're looking for some more creativity and you're wanting some more play with your sensuality, your sexuality, sacral chakra. Okay, so on the contrary of that, if you feel like your feminine energy is blocked, if you feel like you're super disconnected from your period cycle as a woman, from your monthly cycle, if you feel like you're feeling blocked from your creative expression and from your sensuality and from your sexuality, if you feel like you don't have a high sex drive, or you don't feel, it doesn't need to be high. If you feel disconnected, I want to say, from your sex drive, all that sort of stuff, those are all signs that your sacral chakra is closed off. Now, I want to say this with a grain of salt, trigger warning as well before I get into this, but back to kind of what I was saying about trauma and how it can make certain chakras close. If you have dealt with any sexual trauma, another like huge thing, I invite you to really work on your sacral chakra, because I can almost guarantee that your sacral chakra is closed or scarred from those traumatic experiences, which rightfully so, right? So things like that, anything, or if you felt like if you grew up in a home where, you were demonized for wearing revealing clothing, or it was always taught that to not like express your sexuality, or that it was a sin to act a certain way, or no one was, it was taboo to speak about the female cycle or getting on, proper protection for sex, all that sort of stuff. If that felt shameful growing up, all those things can contribute to you having a closed off sacral chakra, which could then be leading to you, feeling disconnected from your sexuality, your sensuality, right? Feeling disconnected from who you are, not having a strong relationship from your femininity, feeling like it's wrong for you to be connected to your femininity and your sensuality. All that sort of stuff has kind of that bridge between those two. So that's another example of, if you experience trauma, how it could close that sacral chakra and how it could then further impact your life today. Okay. So my affirmation that I have for your sacral chakra is, I harness my feminine energy with grace and elegance. I actually love my sacral chakra, because that's when I'm like when I get to that part of my meditation, like I am woman. Like I am being, I just feel so in tune with like my energy. So I love it. So for the sacral chakra, again, I harness my feminine energy with grace and elegance. That one was kind of selfish because I didn't really plan for if there are people who identify more so in masculine. Sorry about that. So Next, chakra numero tres, chakra number 3, the solar plexus, okay? This is located under your rib cage, kind of your sternum, like right, if you were to touch your ribs and you go to the tippy top of them, like that's where the solar plexus is, like right underneath, kind of underneath or at the bottom of your rib cage, sternum, that vicinity. And the color that corresponds with solar plexus is yellow, which I have been all over yellow lately. Like I have yellow on my nails. I've been wearing yellow clothes, yellow shoes, yellow dresses. Like I've been buying yellow things. And not coincidentally, well, anyways, when I went to that spiritual retreat in Puerto Viejo in Costa Rica, the psychic medium there, her name was Lena. She basically encouraged me, because I did kind of a reading with her, and she encouraged me to wear more yellow because that opening of the solar plexus is very important for me at this time. And truly, like without me intentionally going to go seek out more yellow, I've been subconsciously gravitating towards more yellow / more pieces of yellow have been finding me. Like I was going shopping and there was this dress that I loved and it happened to be a yellow dress, like things like that. Like I found these sandals again. I literally only have one pair of sandals and they were yellow sandals, even though they're like so old, from Target. So like all that sort of stuff is just kind of cool because it also speaks on behalf of, like, this is when I believe in the magic of life. You know, this could be too woo-woo for some of you guys, but like this is when I just totally believe in the magic of life. Like I don't think that's a coincidence. Like I do feel like that's the uni helping to give me tools of what it's encouraging me to, you know, it's encouraging me to open up my solar plexus and to connect with that chakra. And I do believe that it's kind of meant to be. So also with that, if you find yourself gravitating to certain colors as well, really be mindful of what chakra it correlates to. And maybe it's an invitation from the uni to spend more energy, intention, and time with that corresponding chakra, or just put more energy into that chakra, work on opening up that chakra, do what you can to embody more energies of that chakra, focus on the areas of life that correspond with that chakra, all that sort of stuff. So there really are so many moving parts with the chakras. Like that's why I really do feel like they're truly pillars of life and the true pillars of true alignment. So the solar plexus, this is associated with actually taking action, and I want to say like aligned action. It has to do with feeling confident. This is the biggest word that comes to mind when I think of solar plexus. It's like your confidence. You're feeling like you're enough, right? Your freedom to feel like you're not embarrassed. You're not shy to show who you are. Like you are free to express. So expression is a huge thing. Feeling determination for your goals and taking action to get to what you want. So it's very expressive. It's very confidence based. It's forward motion. It's taking action on your goals, right? So I love this chakra. I think it's fun. It just like is free to me when I think of the solar plexus. Like I just feel like free energy, not being restricted by self-doubt, by anxieties, by that sort of thing, by feeling like you're less than unworthy. Like it's worthiness, it's feeling confident, it's feeling like you're free to express, which I love, all those things. So it's a very empowering chakra, which I love. So again, if you're someone who's been feeling unconfident, if you're someone who really struggles with confidence, connect to your solar plexus. Again, vice versa. If you were always shot down, if you wanted to wear really cool clothes and you got bullied in 7th grade and someone was like, oh my God, why would she wear that? Like she literally looks like a flamingo, when you liked a lot of pink. Like that is an example of how that could have taken a hit to your solar plexus and could have making your solar plexus close. Or even today in the workplace, you feel like, I don't know, you can't wear certain things to work. And so that's impacting your ability to express yourself openly, like on the day-to-day, because now you're nervous of coming across as a certain type of person, even though you feel like you identify as, more so lawyer that's in this perfect box and you have this identity, right? All these sorts of things. All these things that are doing just can basically have the impact of closing off these chakras based on certain trauma, right? So if you've been struggling with confidence, if you've been struggling to express yourself, if you don't feel safe to express yourself, you don't feel like you have the right to express yourself, you feel nervous, you feel embarrassed to express yourself, you feel nervous to wear certain things or to play your music on aux because you don't want people to make fun of you, if you feel like you're constantly shy, if you don't want to wear like the thing that you want to wear because you think it's going to attract too much attention to you, really do healing on your solar plexus. Opening up your solar plexus is going to help heal all those wounds that are from past traumas, and they're also going to help you really be able to tap into that energy that you are subconsciously seeking. The healed version of you is seeking, these energies of action, confidence, determination, expression, right? So, love the solar plexus. It's a great one. The affirmation for this one is, I feel confident in my skin and in all that makes me who I am. I feel confident in my skin and in all that makes me who I am. I love that one. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, chakra number 4. This is the heart chakra. Okay, this is located right where you would think in your heart, right in the center of your chest. And regardless of what people think, because they're like, oh, heart chakra, is it red? Is it pink? No, this color is green because, again, in case you can't tell, we're going through the rainbow. So the heart chakra is a color of green. So as you can kind of guess, this heart chakra is associated with your emotions, feelings, love, right? Emotional intelligence, bonding, empathy, all those good, warm, fuzzy feelings just of love. If you want to connect deeper to love, you need to open up your heart space. And I feel like I definitely have, mentioned that term of my heart space feels so open. That's what I'm referring to is my heart chakra, essentially. So if you want to feel like, if you're struggling to find love in your life, whether that's romantic, friendship, familial, if you feel like you're living in fear a lot, if you're constantly worried, if you're constantly thinking of what if it doesn't work out, right? If you're constantly living in anxieties and this sense of control and all this sort of stuff, and you feel like you want to make the switch from living in fear to living in love, right? Because those are the two main umbrella frequencies. I have an older podcast episode about that. Those are the two umbrella frequencies. Everything is either going in either the love bucket or the fear bucket. And so if you want to make that switch and live in love in your days, you need to heal your heart space. You need to open up that heart chakra and you need to connect with that heart chakra. This has made me think of something else. I didn't even plan this, but also each chakra is correlated to there's certain crystals. See, like this, I love this. There's certain crystals also as well that's connected with each chakra, which now I can't remember for like the other ones super well, but I definitely can look this up. Oh my gosh. Wait, okay, we'll look that up in a second. But I know for a fact, like heart chakra, a crystal that will help you to open up your heart chakra is the rose quartz crystal. It's this pink crystal, and basically it holds the frequency and the energy, and it helps to open up your heart chakra and helps you connect with the energies that come along with your heart chakra. So that's another way to help open and connect with each chakra, is to get a corresponding crystal, sit with that energy, play with that crystal, have that crystal be around you when you're working, hold it during meditation, and that's also going to help you open up each corresponding crystal open up each chakra depending on which crystal you're holding. So yeah, if you feel like you're really struggling to find love, if you feel like you're constantly looking at the bad things in people, or you're constantly living in worry and doubt and fear, there could be past trauma that closed off your heart chakra. And so by you opening up your heart chakra, you're going to be able to invite in these energies and be able to feel these energies abundantly through you from the inside out. And I think that's another huge thing when it comes to manifestation in general. It's such a buzz topic, right? And this has been something that I've been working on learning literally probably since 2018 now at this point. And we always think that we want these specific things, right? These materialistic items, and that's why we want to manifest them, like why I want my Porsche Cayenne, why I want a Malibu wake setter one day, all these sorts of things. But really what we're really desiring is the feeling that comes along with said thing, which is going to be a whole other episode on this. Basically, what we're trying to achieve on the soulful, subconscious, internal level is we're trying to achieve a state of being, and this internal feeling that we think will come with having said materialistic thing, with having a salary increase, whatever the case may be, with having the relationship. So that's why being able to tap into these chakras is so powerful, because that's really where true manifestation actually becomes very powerful, is when you can start feeling the feeling first that would come with the said object. Because like attracts like, right? That's when you become a magnet. That's where I say you need to embody what you want to be, what you want to feel, and then you'll become that. You need to be the person with the $100,000 job or whatever the case may be in order to, then be the person that has a $100,000 job. It's like that embodiment. You need to be it now in order to experience it in the quote unquote future, which is always going to be and ever will be the current present moment now, because it's all that ever exists constantly. So by being able to tap into these emotions and being able to open these chakras and really being able to be open and feeling all these feelings at once, like really having all this abundance flow of energy, you are going to be so magnetic to all your desires in life, because you're already feeling all the desires that you're wanting in life. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, imagine not having to wait until you had this partner to be able to feel love, empathy, bonding, emotional intelligence, all these lovey feelings, right? What would you do if I said you can feel that way right now just by you tapping into your heart chakra and opening up your heart chakra? You'd be freaking limitless. You'd be like literally everything is at the fingertips. The world is at your fingertips, when you have all of your chakras open, and you're able to be so fulfilled and so content because you will be able to feel all the things that you think are outside of yourself and in outside objects and attainments and situations, because they'll be able to pour from the inside out just within you. And that goes back to what I'm going on such a tangent right now, but that just even goes back to us, how we have source within us. We have life within us. We have God within us. Right? No matter what your religious beliefs is, I'm not even trying to make it about that. We have life source within us. We have complete abundance, endlessness of anything that we're desiring. It literally, truly all lies within us. And by us opening up these chakras, it basically kind of unclogs these portals or these drains, essentially, to allow all that abundance and consciousness that all lies within us to be able to pour out of us. And we're going to have so much, not only to fill up our own cup when our chakras are open, but enough to be able to fill our neighbors' cups, and therefore raise the consciousness of humanity and just overall raise the greater good of humanity. So that's why this work is really, really so powerful. Side tangent, but we're going to keep going. Okay, so heart chakra affirmation I have is, all I do is done with love. All I do is done with love. All I do is done with love. Chakra number 5. Okay, so we have 3 more. This is the throat chakra. This is located, in the throat. We're getting more obvious here. So right in the middle of if you were to touch if you had like an Adam's apple, that's where I feel like it would be. Anyway, so the color that corresponds with the throat chakra is blue. So this is associated with really expression, right? I kind of spoke about that with the solar plexus. Expression was in there. And there was also kind of an overlap between sacral chakra and solar plexus with being in your power and being able to just express yourself and step into your power. Those were kind of the similarities between the solar plexus and the sacral chakra. And then between the throat chakra and the sacral chakra, expression is another common theme between those two. But this is really hugely speaking on behalf of speaking, no pun intended, but expressing your truth, speaking eloquently, speaking with articulation, really being able to vocalize your opinions of what you want to say, just truly expressing yourself, being authentic, right? Not feeling like you need to fit into a box or say a certain thing or not say a certain thing so you don't offend certain people or so you don't come across as weird. The throat chakra just has everything to do with fully being able to express yourself, speak with passion, speak clearly, speak articulately, and speak with eloquence, right? And so honestly, with here, especially when I kind of would first start this podcast, but even still now, like if I feel like I wake up one day, sometimes I literally will sit down to record and I'm like, I literally can't get out a full cohesive sentence if I tried right now. I keep stumbling over my words. I can't bring my thoughts to a complete sentence, to form a sentence. I can't figure out how to express what I'm thinking and feeling inside. And truly that's what I'm like, my throat chakra is blocked. Something is going on where I need to take a second. I need to meditate on this. I need to put more energy and love and intention into opening up my heart chakra to move forward, because it's so freaking real. That happens to me for sure. I will sit down and I'm like, dude, I literally can't speak. So if you're someone truly this is super huge. If you're someone who's a public speaker, if you're going to do a freaking TED talk, if you have a presentation in class, really take a moment and do a small meditation of just intention setting of opening up your throat chakra. And I swear it's going to help you so much with being able to speak fluently, fluidly, with passion, with confidence, with eloquence and articulation, right? It really goes so far. So that's kind of an example of how it could kind of get impacted. And so for that example, I don't always know why, in that short-term example of my throat chakra feels blocked today, I don't really know if it's something that it could have been something that triggered it a few days ago that I didn't really realize, where my dad was upset with me, or my brother said something of why are you saying that, or why did you say it like that, or something. I don't know. I'm just kind of using examples, and maybe those little pings subconsciously impacted my throat chakra. Something like that. Or maybe me on social media, I got maybe shut down with a hate comment, or I felt like a post didn't get received as well as I thought. And maybe that took a hit to my throat chakra. So it could be little minute things that we don't always realize that are taking a hit to our chakras. Or it could just simply be that it's kind of been a minute where we haven't kind of attended and groomed each chakra in a bit. And so our specific chakra is kind of taking the brunt of that, if you will. It's kind of like if you're not changing the water on your flowers, it kind of starts to get a little muddy in there. You know what I'm saying? Nothing really necessarily happened. Just time has gone by and you haven't really upkept it very well. So that could also be a reason why some certain chakras will close up from time to time. So you got to change the water. You know what I mean? You got to get out the gunk. It needs to freshen up. You know what I'm saying? So if you're someone who has trouble expressing their mind, expressing their truth, your throat chakra may have been suppressed. This is also a huge one. This is a very common theme in women, also specifically, just simply based on our society dynamics. Men are much more encouraged to speak their mind, to share their opinion. How many times, hello, people in like group projects in college where, may have you felt like as a woman that your opinion wasn't as valued, like the men kind of took over the group or whatever the case may be. All those little pings could be little hits to your throat chakra. So you want to be mindful. And also it helps to think back to there may be really big occurrences that happen in your life that really greatly suppressed and closed off certain chakras. And a throat chakra is a really big one that usually takes a hit in a lot of situations in life. So opening up that throat chakra can do a lot of work to help you actually express yourself and to allow you to speak it with confidence and have you trust that there's value in what you have to say and to be able to speak it with confidence and being able to fully authentically express yourself. And I promise you guys, once you really, truly, unapologetically express who you are, like you will feel so much more at ease and composed and just at peace with yourself because you are just more in alignment with your true self. Like, I think people also sometimes miss the mark of how much, like, by you not staying true to yourself, by you not speaking your mind, how much that just creates stuck, stagnant energy, which makes you so imbalanced and unaligned internally, which you will literally feel, and I promise will also more often than not manifest physically because of that internal energetic imbalance, right? Everything is energy. So throat chakra affirmation, I speak my truth with passion and enthusiasm. I speak my truth with passion and enthusiasm. Next, we have our sixth chakra, which is the third eye. Okay, this is located on your forehead, in between your eyebrows. So not like directly in between your eyebrows, but like on your forehead, in between your eyebrows. This corresponding color is indigo. Okay, and this is associated mainly with your intuition. So when you think of your third eye, I want you to immediately think of your intuition, right? It has to do with knowingness, insight, imagination, kind of your psychic gifts, right? But for me, it's always like psychic gifts are truly just people who are so freaking tapped into their intuition to allow their gift to be able to come through. So I really oftentimes get questions of like, how can I connect with my intuition? How can I hear my intuition? How do I actually know what's my intuition and what's not? Be mindful and really connect with your third eye. This is where you're going to want to go if you're really going to want to hear your intuition very clearly and feel very connected to your intuition. If you feel like you can never hear your soul's pull, if you feel like you can never really, you never really know what the right decision is, if you feel like you can never get a read on people, or if you're like, damn, another person really screwed me over, like how come I keep just not even being able to recognize these shitty people that come into my life or don't have good intentions, all that sort of stuff, that all has to do with your third eye. So if you feel like you struggle with everything I just listed, that's a very big indication that your third eye chakra is closed, or it hasn't been attended to enough, or there hasn't been enough energy and intention sent to your third eye to be able to connect with it. So again, if you want to be able to access these energies of knowingness, intuition, insight, really having vivid imaginations, really tap into your third eye. And the affirmation that I have with that is, I hear my intuition loud and clear. I hear my intuition loud and clear. I kind of want to say moonstone corresponds to your third eye. I could very much so be wrong, but I really think moonstone also correlates with your intuition and stuff like that. But I guess at the end, I'll look up crystals that correspond with each chakra. And finally, we have the crown chakra. Okay, this is the seventh and final chakra. Its correlating color is purple, which also circling back to that spiritual retreat that I went to in Costa Rica. Again, Lena also said that because she could also read aura colors, and my aura was purple, which I was so honored. And like, I was so excited when she said it was purple because I didn't necessarily think it was going to be that. But purple, basically, furthermore, the crown chakra, it's associated with bliss, peace, joy, oneness, wholeness, and just being very connected to your higher self, your angels, the spiritual realm, right? Or other words, the 5D. You guys might hear me say that. So it's just being really connected to your higher self and to your the spiritual realm, right? Is kind of also what the color purple also corresponds with. So I was just like, no way, that's my aura. Like, I thought that was really cool that it just kind of spoke on where my energy is currently. But so yeah, crown chakra, this is located at the top of your head as well. So this is the top of the flute, if you will, circling back to our initial analogy. And usually I start with my crown chakra. To be honest, when I'm meditating, I start from the top and go down, even though we stopped from the bottom and went up for the sake of this episode. But this is associated with all of the amazing, like the most highest vibrational frequencies and energy is correlated with the crown chakra. So if you want to truly be in alignment with your higher self, if you want to be in alignment with the highest vibrational frequencies, if you want to vibrate at your highest vibrational frequency, if you want to be in alignment with your highest life path, if you want to be in alignment with just like your soul, your true soul, aside from your body, aside from your human ego, like if you want to be elevated truly outside of your body, you want to be doing work on your crown chakra and really be humbly connecting with your crown chakra through setting that intention. Like all of these are amazing energies like bliss, peace, joy. Literally, truly, those are the most highest vibrating frequencies there is that are known, that exists. Like it is the top of the top. Your highest frequency is when you're in bliss, peace, joy, all that sort of stuff. It's literally even higher than love, right? Which you may not even know is possible, but it's true. So if you really want to be connected to your best self and really your higher self, your angels, right? And just really strengthen your relationship to the spiritual realm, including your spiritual being, really do work on your crown chakra. So again, if someone has ever belittled your belief in your certain faith, whatever you practice, if people have shot you down for, believing in angels or for believing in like, I don't know, I just kind of had this download. If people have tried to shut you down from kind of this higher knowing or from trying to weigh down your vibration because it's true. When people see you vibrating at such a high level, there are people who don't, want you to be vibrating so high if they're not vibrating that high, right? So there's certain pings that they will, and even energetically, that they can send to bring you down that could basically be inhibiting your crown chakra specifically. So the affirmation that I have for this to help you open up your crown chakra is, I open the channel for consciousness to pour in. I open the channel for consciousness to pour in, which I love that affirmation that came to me there. So you guys also hear me speak a lot about consciousness and awareness, right? All that is like that's like us at our truest soulful point, aside from trauma, aside from our human ego. Like consciousness is what our souls are made up of, essentially. Like it is the truest, highest knowing. It is us untouched. It is pure bliss. It is pure peace, pure joy. It is the highest frequency that we can be operating at. And that comes through you being connected to your crown chakra. So by you having a very open channel, right? Meaning you have a very open chakra, open crown chakra, that's what's going to allow you to have all those amazing downloads pour in from the 5D, to allow the uni to speak to you, to allow God to come through, to allow your higher self to come through, to allow just pure consciousness to purely just emanate from you and keep filling in you from the inside out. Now I kind of want to speak on how to actually open your chakras when you feel like a certain one is closed, which I kind of have been speaking on that as we have gone now. But the first and main way that I try to open up my chakras and really make sure that each one remains open, right, to allow myself to feel all these feelings. Because also, like when I just read off all the energies that are associated with the crown chakra, bliss, peace, joy, feeling whole, feeling oneness, feeling connected with your best higher self, the spiritual realm. Who does not want to feel all those things all the time, right? Like any single thing that you think, I would argue that any single desire that you have in your life right now would be solved if you truly felt all of these feelings to their full potency from the inside out. Truly. And so it's like, that's what's amazing with the chakra work is like, if you truly are tapped into your crown chakra and you really have your crown chakra open, like you're opening up the dam for all of these amazing energies to flood your being, and like people are going to be able to feel it, like you're just going to be emanating, like you're truly going to be glowing when you really tap into this work. And that's what's so amazing about the crown chakra. It's like there's so many amazing energies that are available to you that are literally like angelic, otherworldly, like literally out of the earth realm, that you could be feeling by really being in tune and in touch with your crown chakra. So in meditations, what I personally will do, because I also think sometimes it feels like overwhelming or people overthink how to actually do energetic work. So much of what I do is through visualizations that help me to actually kind of manipulate my own energetic field and do inner healing work energetically. So for meditation, I'll mainly very much so visualize each chakra, kind of back to that flute analogy, but within my body. So now you guys are going to be able to be along with me here. So I'll have a hole, essentially an outlet. I don't even know like what's the right word to use. I haven't really thought of a good word because I don't like the word hole, but you know, an energy center, okay, a portal, whatever you want to call it. I have one at the top of my head, one completely at the bottom of my trunk, and then I have all these basically at my forefront of my trunk as well, picturing a flute. So I kind of will just picture myself having each portal, you know, for each chakra, and I'll go through and I'll literally visualize myself cleaning each chakra. Like I'm not kidding. And I kind of also picture almost like a little, like a, I want to say a porthole. What about like on the side of a ship when you have the little window that looks like a little porthole. I think it's called a porthole. I don't know, but like a little circular window. And I literally visualize myself cleaning the window so it's nice and clear, nice and open, so all this light and beauty and energy can shine through it. But basically, however you guys want to visualize it, do it in whatever font of that same thing I'm saying, whatever way resonates with you. Just stick with that same principle of like doing what you can to open up that energy center, and then really visualize light and energy being able to pour through, like opening up that dam, opening up that channel for communication. So I'll do that literally for each chakra. I'll start at my crown, and then I visualize like boom, like a really, really strong light come out of my head, kind of in a cone shape. And I'll really visualize that, and I'll sit on that, and I'll do the same thing. Like it takes me a minute, and I really focus and just putting that intention. Truly, intention setting is so much more powerful than people think. Like just setting the intention, putting all of your energy and focus onto your third eye. Focus again on visualize yourself cleaning it, opening it up. Visualize the light coming through from your third eye, shining from the inside out. Set that intention that my third eye is open, right? Say a mantra, say an affirmation that corresponds with that opening of that third eye, right? Then move to your throat chakra. And you're basically going to do that all the way through. And you can say these affirmations that I just gave to you for each corresponding chakra. It's so powerful, and it really helps you actually open each one. Next thing is affirmations with that, right? Kind of hand in hand. But if you are really struggling with a specific chakra that you really want to work on, have a few affirmations that correspond with said chakra. Say them to yourself every day in the mirror. Write them down. Put them on your mirror. Put them on your desk at work, right? Put them on your bedside table so you see it. And that's going to help you subconsciously help to open up your energy in that center. And then the third thing that I have here is to wear / surround yourself with the color that corresponds with certain chakras, depending on what you're needing or if you're wanting all of them. So for me, I've been wearing so much yellow. I painted my nails yellow, right? I've just been surrounding myself with the color yellow because I've personally been wanting to connect more with my solar plexus chakra. So if you want more purple or more green to connect with your heart chakra, wear green that day, right? If you have a presentation, you want to really feel like you're well spoken and you really want to connect to your throat chakra, wear blue that day. Things like that. It doesn't have to be this whole blue outfit, but maybe you decide to wear your blue ring that day. Like little things like that, where even aside from anything, you guys, hell, have it be placebo. It's still just fun, and it makes life fun. And that's why I love this work, and it gives me hope, and it gives me something to give my attention and focus on. And it gives me something to feel like I can gear my attention towards and trust in something, you know, that provides me comfort in a way while also being able to give me control in the sense of like, hey, it's my decision how I want to feel, you know what I mean? And the energy that I want to embody and the energy that I want to be operating from. And so that's why I love this work so much. It just is fun. And so then also with that number 4, which hit me mid episode, is that there's certain crystals that also correspond with said chakra. So you can purchase a crystal that goes with each chakra, or if you're feeling like, again, if you have a presentation that day, maybe do a throat chakra chakra opening meditation, holding the crystal that corresponds with your throat chakra. If you want to feel more confident, maybe you're playing with your crystal, your solar plexus crystal, as you're doing your work or as you're creating something, whatever the case may be. That's another great way to also connect with each chakra. I would say that's a better way to connect with each chakra, not necessarily open your chakra. I feel like affirmations and meditations are a great way to open that chakra, make sure that channel is nice and open and free flowing, right? There's no kind of hiccups in there. But wearing colors and using different crystals can help you to connect with that energy that's correlated with each chakra. So before we close out this episode, I do want to look really quickly on which crystals correlate with each chakra to read these out to you guys. Okay, here we go. So for the root chakra, we have red jasper, which I'm honestly unfamiliar with that crystal, but it corresponds to the root chakra. And then for the sacral chakra, we have carnelian, which I have heard of, which I forget what carnelian actually does. And then for solar plexus, we have citrine. I love citrine. Citrine's a really great crystal if you're looking to manifest and for sure like a bunch of abundance. Citrine is a really great stone. That's one of my favorite crystals for sure. It also really helps you just be more magnetic to basically everything that you're desiring. Heart chakra, rose quartz, just like I said, very amazing to being associated with just opening up your heart and just being helping to harmonize your relationships, platonic, romantic, or familial, and just really be more connected to the frequency of love. Then for the throat chakra, we have sodalite, which I also saw lapis lazuli, I think. Oh, wait, no, just kidding. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, sodalite, I'm very unfamiliar with this stone, gonna be honest, but this again also says throat chakra is all about healthy self-expression, living authentically and speaking. Then for the third eye chakra, lapis lazuli, which is what I was about to say. I do have this crystal as well. This is a great one. It definitely helps you get more in touch with your intuition, dreams, imagination, wisdom. And then lastly, for the crown chakra, there is clear quartz. This is a really cleansing stone. I have this as well. This is just like a very purifying stone, purifying of any negative energies. Like it's just pure, it's angelic, a very staple stone. It's also an amplifier stone as well. So there's definitely more than one crystal that can correspond with each chakra, but this is kind of a starting point for you guys, but definitely do some of your more own research because there's definitely more than one crystal option for each chakra. So that's all the information I'm going to dump on you guys today. I know I gave you guys so much, but the thing is now, like, there's even more, like, you can even go deeper into each chakra. Like, there's so much that's correlated with each chakra. Like, these truly are the pillars of, like, just the bridge between the human and spiritual experience is actually what I want to say. Like, the chakras really are a bridge between the human and spiritual experience on this planet, for sure. Like, everything you're feeling, everything you're experiencing can go back to one of the 7 chakras or multiple of them in some sense, and can also link past trauma with current experiences and all that sort of stuff. So really powerful work, and really can help you with your inner healing when you really dive deep into your chakras. So for the affirmation for today, I have my chakras remain shamelessly open and are in full energetic alignment to allow me to magnetize my best life. My chakras remain shamelessly open and are in full energetic alignment to allow me to magnetize my best life. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for your time. I hope you have a beautiful, amazing week. If you guys enjoyed this episode, if you feel like you learned a good amount, if you feel like you had takeaways from this episode, it would mean so much to me. If you could share this episode, screenshot it, share it on your Instagram story, send it to a friend, send it to a loved one, send it to a family member. And if you're looking to support this podcast in a way that's completely free to you, don't forget to leave a rating or review. It really helps this podcast reach more people and therefore impact more lives, which is always my goal. Thank you guys again so much for your time. I'm sending you so much love, and hopefully I'll see you in the next epi. Peace out.